Hello everyone, I'm the Moonchild Medium. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. We're continuing with our February love and relationship series. Today is going to be a little bit different than what I've been doing the past few days. I'm going to actually pull some cards, like shuffle and pull them on screen ahead of time before I do the readings, and then we'll pick the stones. But if you're not wanting to watch all that, I will put in the description the timestamp to where you can see what the three options are that you can choose from, and then from there you can choose a pile that calls to you. You can always choose more than one if more than one call to you. But we're going to be doing it, it's going to be a little bit shorter of a reading than I've been doing. I've been doing some longer readings recently. So this is just going to be like a quick little check-in. So I'm only going to have like one card per topic that we're asking about. So if you want to watch the shuffling, you can do that. If not, just go ahead and skip ahead. We're going to start off by picking some animal spirit oracle cards. I'm just going to pick one per deck. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And again, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say it in every video, but I'm sorry for all the knocking on my ceiling and my walls. It's an old building. It makes some weird noises when the heater's on. Next, I'm going to be picking some oracle cards from the Moonology oracle deck. I'm going to do the same thing, just pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I'm gonna pick one of the mermaid oracle cards as well. I haven't been using the oracle cards as much for the past few readings, so this should be fun. Gonna do again pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And then I'm going to use different decks for each of the piles. And I have some that I can clarify with as well. So for pile 1, we're going to use the Modern Witch Tarot. And I'm pulling 5 cards. I'm going to tell you what they're all about. Alright, so we've got our pile 1 cards selected. Then for pile 2, we're going to use the classic Rider-Waite. I like to say Rider-Waite-Smith because we don't hear about the Smith very often, and even though this tarot deck is technically just called the Rider-Waite Tarot, we all know that, what was her name? I forget if it was Pamela or Patricia, but she was a woman of color who was the actual illustrator of this deck, and so want to acknowledge her and honor her for that. Perfect. lastly, for deck number 3, I'm going to be using the Mermaid Tarot. And all of these decks have different strengths, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. At least not until we get into the reading. Perfect. All right, and finally we're going to choose 3 stones. All right, for pile 1, we've got this white howlite. We'll put that above pile 1. Then, let's get this. For pile 2, we have this lapis lazuli point. And for pile 3, we have the Herkimer diamond, which, as I told you, I don't really think is a diamond at all, but it's got its own place and its own meaning. So let me show you the 3 piles that we're working with. We've got pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. As always, you can pause the video, take some time to think about it. I'm going to put the timestamps in the description, and let's get right into it. All right, pile 1. You're here because you chose the howlite. It's a heart, the howlite heart. And if you've been here before, you've heard me talk about this as a very good stone for setting boundaries. We've also looked at it in this February series in the context of letting down the walls around your heart. This is also a very good stone for calming anxiety, for getting grounded. So we'll talk about that. That's going to come into play in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and read the oracle cards that we have. We're going to start with the mermaid oracle. We have Haughty Mermaid, number 41. Okay, I'm going to read it. It seems to me already like has to do with your attitude in some way. The message here is take a long, hard look in the mirror. It is time to step back and take a long, hard look in the mirror, literally and figuratively. What are you saying to the world? Does your outward appearance reflect the inner you? Are you portraying yourself the way you want to be seen by others? Do you appear professional, unique, mature, quirky, or is your look just convenient? This is a good time to update your personal style with a revamped wardrobe, new hairstyle, or perhaps sharp new accessories. This is also the time to think about your body language. Do you come across as open and friendly, sarcastic and stuck up, frumpy and sloppy? Pay attention to your posture and physique as well as your facial expressions. Smile a little more and great things may open up to you. Okay, so I'm not really a big fan of the part that's like, oh, revamp your whole wardrobe, and like, because that seems like it would take a lot of money, and that seems like such a capitalistic mindset, in my opinion. But I do like the message behind the whole thing about being aware of the way that you present yourself to the world. When you're going out, do you have this like kind of like sour look on your face that like makes you look unapproachable, and then you're like, why does nobody ever want to be my friend? But it's just because you're like all the time. We'll talk about that some more, but let's jump into the next card we have, which is the Moonology Oracle. Full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. We just had a full moon. That one was in Virgo. But let me read this full moon in Cancer card for you. The message is to the message to attune to the moon is, it may be best to move towards what you want in a sideways manner. Additional meanings for this card would be meditate to soothe heightened emotions, don't be clingy, stop sulking, and have you had enough family time lately? Okay, so you may be really in your emotions lately, and maybe that's why you're looking a little bit unapproachable. Like you want to connect with people, but you can't really because you're like sitting in your feelings right now. Then for the animal spirit deck, we have the koala spirit with the number 35. It says spirit has a plan. Okay, and then let me just read that one for you real quick. The message here is, in nature, the koala moves slowly through the branches of the eucalyptus tree, leisurely chewing the leaves, reminding us that life is not a race or competition. Chasing around after every distraction can keep us from recognizing that we have all we need and that spirit will always be there with gifts to sustain us. You are being asked to trust that by moving slowly with faith in the abundance that is everywhere, surrendering to a power greater than yourself, you will be able to experience the manifestation of your desire. As you take your time, enjoying the riches available to you right now, sitting peacefully, you begin to radiate the joy and abundance you seek. Spirit is here to help you discover happiness, pleasure, and contentment, all gifts that are yours now and in the future. Have faith and trust in Spirit's plan for you, and know that you are loved and cherished. All right. So let's get into the reading and let's see how all of these oracle cards go with the whole thing. So I picked 5 cards, 5 tarot cards. The first one is going to be about your relationship to self. So what we have is you. You are the Knight of Swords in reverse. The Knight of Swords in reverse. This speaks to me of, feeling like you're having like a difficult time discerning. This does speak to me of scattered energy, somewhat of, I feel that you feel that it's trickster energy, but it's more like chaos. You're kind of like dwelling in a moment of chaos right now, which I could see that being, something that would have you, feeling like torn, and, this chaotic spirit, I think, is being highlighted by the koala spirit. That's just like, showing that like the remedy here might be to slow down a little bit and to sit with your emotions. You may be moving from emotion, and let's just say that emotion is something that informs you of what your needs are. Emotion is not something that informs you of what your moves are. And we'll get into that, I think, throughout this reading, because there's usually a theme here. So the next card that I have is your relationship to love. Right now we have the Two of Swords in reverse. And I feel that you are aware that there is some sort of blockage. This has been a blockage that has been happening for quite some time. And so there's like a bit of like despair here, or discouragement, feeling like, I've been putting in all the work, I've been doing all the things, so why isn't nothing working out for me? Why don't I have the person that I've been, wanting to have? Then we have the relationship to your immediate community, which is friends and family. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. It's interesting that we have twos back to back, because twos are a number of relationship, and it's more like the beginning stages of relationship, like the beginning of building intimacy with people. And the Suit of Swords is really very much about discernment, and protection as well. And the Suit of Wands is about love, passion, creation. And in this card of the Two of Wands, there's a lot of also, imagery that depicts the message of enterprise and possibly travel. So I get the feeling that like what you are trying to manifest into your life is some sort of enterprise that allows you to travel within like a close-knit community of people. Or at least to build some sort of enterprise. I feel that you are somebody who is like networking with a lot of people right now, and you do think about like, how you can help each other with, creative projects or something business related. Social media could be involved in this as well. But there's a feeling of, it's like surveying your kingdom, but you also are a little bit distracted by maybe by social media or screens in some way. And so that distraction is causing you to miss out on some opportunities. And I feel like that distraction has a lot to do with your mood. You've been kind of like in go, go, go mode. And so because of that, you haven't really set healthy boundaries. Like we talked about with the howlite. You haven't really set healthy boundaries around I don't even want to say it's a community necessarily, but it's like you haven't set healthy boundaries around things like screen time. Yeah, it's something like that. We'll get a little bit of clarity on that, but let's move on to the local community, which would be like your neighborhood. So your relationship to your local community. We've got the moon in reverse. I feel like you are feeling some sort of intuitive pull, but you're not really following it. And this may be because you are feeling a sense of burnout. It's like how much can you really do if you're like, I just get the sense that it's almost like, it's like I'm getting this metaphor of like someone who like gets up in the morning, they create their content for social media, they post the content on social media, then they have to run to class. Then when they're sitting in class, they're like only like half present in class. And then as soon as they're done with class, they have to run to work or like run home to get changed so they can go to work, and they're not really having enough lunch time like in between, and they don't really have a lot of time to be outside at all. And then as soon as they're done with work, they have to come back home and do homework for the next day or something like that. And then they wake up the next morning and the cycle starts all over again. And they keep doing this and until like thinking like week after week, like it's okay, this week is just really busy, but they continue with the same schedule over and over again. That's kind of like the energy that I get. And so because of that, there's like something that you want to do out in the community, that you actually feel the intuitive pull towards, whether it's like going to an open mic or volunteering somewhere or applying for a different kind of job than the one that you've had. there's all kinds of like options, you know, of things that you could be doing that you're not doing probably because of the burnout, because you're tired. And so you are being asked to take a look at the part of you that won't let you stop. So it might be that there's insecurity that if you stop, then you will fail your classes, or you will lose your job, or you will take a dock and pay, or something like that. And so Spirit is asking you to take a look at that mentality, that if I take the break, you know, or if I stop trying to figure it out, or if I stop doing exactly what I'm doing right now, that somehow I'm like something is going to go wrong, or that's not the right move for some reason. Like take a look at it. Feels like a fear that's inside about like what would happen if you followed that path, right? And then finally, oh, this is beautiful, your relationship to the world. You have the 10 of Cups. You are very idealistic right now, I think, and you want so badly to change things. I feel that you are also in a mood where you're receptive to the beauty in the world. So even though there's all this fear, and I do see a lot of fear, especially like in the personal relationship, in your relationship to love, in the relationship to your immediate community, your relationship to your local community. There's so much fear about like, what if I'm making the wrong decision, or like, you know, what if I'm not meant for love, or what if I can't do the thing type, you know, like it's like that kind of thing. But you have this beautiful vision of this really fulfilling, like utopian kind of world. And you are putting in the work. I think you're putting in the emotional work to understand yourself, so that you can actually show up in the world the way that you like, the way that you want to. So let me just get some quick clarification here about some of these cards. All right, please clarify the Knight of Swords in reverse. We've got the 6 of Cups. All right, so you are a very abundant person. You, there's like something that you have been wanting to do since your childhood, and you're kind of reverting back to that now. Ten of Wands is on the bottom of the deck. This is really about carrying a heavy burden. And the burden that you're carrying is about finances, material wealth, security. All the choices that you have, but they're not really materialized yet. You're just kind of like fleshing out ideas. So that's why there's like a lot of uncertainty. But something to think about is definitely like if you have several options, and like one of them is something that you've been wanting to do since you were a little kid, start with that one. It's not that you won't get all the other things done too, like, you know, have all your other ideas fleshed out as well, but start with the thing that you've been wanting to do since you were like a little kid. Okay. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, and then clarifications for the 2 of Swords in reverse. We've got the 4 of Cups in reverse. 4 Four of Cups in reverse, being that there's something that you're not seeing, something you're blocking yourself from seeing, and we've seen that before with the Two of Swords. What are they blocking themselves from seeing? What is pile one not seeing? We've got the Five of Wands and the King of Cups. Five of Wands being like a healthy competition, healthy conflict. And King of Cups is a very intuitive, intelligent person. Someone who would be like, very like, their mind is adept to law, business, philosophy, psychology, things like that. So there's definitely like something about emotional intelligence here and the ability to have healthy conflict. I think that you are, from what I see, okay, wait, let's take a look at the bottom of the deck here. Ace of Cups, there we go. Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is really about trusting yourself, that you have the emotional maturity to engage in healthy conflict. So there might even be people in your life who kind of like make you doubt if you're, you know, like they might be like, oh, you're speaking too aggressive or whatever, and you doubt it. But you have been doing a lot of work, like I said, you've been doing a lot of the internal emotional work. And so like, don't doubt it, except that you have actually, you have developed the skills that you need to have. And that's why with the koala spirit, you can slow down. You don't have to constantly be in this like self-improvement mode. You are perfect as you are. So maybe that's one of the reasons why you need to like present yourself a little bit better, because like you need to be able to accept that you are acceptable, that you are perfect as you are, and that you have the tools that you need. Then clarify the Two of Wands, please. Two of Wands in reverse. We have the Lovers in reverse. So there's like some energy that it's like you need to take a look at something within yourself. The Lovers is like a very mirroring energy. So there's like something that you, again, are not seeing about yourself. And it's like, it is, since it's mirroring energy, it's like what you're putting out into the community and into your immediate community and your local community. What you're putting out in there, into there, is like what's coming back to you. And so if there's like, well, it's like this. If you're like walking around with a sour look on your face, people are gonna like give you a sour look back, because they're like, what's going on here? But people tend to smile when you smile at them. Now, like, that feels a little cringy to me, because I don't want to be like, oh, hey, hun, you'd look better if you smile. But there is something to that. There's like, you're getting back the energy that you're putting out, is basically what I'm seeing for your community, your local community, and your immediate, your friends and family. Yeah, we've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is really about like employing what you already know about emotional alchemy. Like, you're somebody who, like, you know how to use positive affirmations, but I feel like you're not using them very much right now because you're a little bit down on yourself. So this is your reminder to speak to yourself in kinder ways, to choose your words more wisely. Yes, it's important to be grounded in reality, but it's also important that we speak to ourselves with kindness. So this is really about your self-talk. Like, when you're going out in the world, you may have a sour face on, not because you're trying to, but because you're thinking about all these like negative things. Excuse me.
you're having all these mood swings, and I feel like you're not actually like, you're either not speaking your truth, or like you're speaking too much, but like not really saying what you really think or really feel. And so because you have no outlet for it, it's like written on your face. And that's okay. It's okay to be moody. It's okay to have mood swings, and it's okay to have resting bitch face. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, so and the key to that really is releasing judgment, because we've got karma on the bottom in reverse, which in other decks would be judgment. And then clarification for the moon in reverse. We've got this strength card. All right, strength to me is always about this like gentle strength of attacking things from a sideways manner. You might need to take another approach. Okay, so now this is making more sense. There's something that you're like trying to, it's almost, I feel that honestly a lot of this is like that kind of like toxic culture of positivity, not positivity, of self-improvement. That's like, you know, I want to be a healed person. So then you always think of yourself as someone who is healing and unhealed. And so you're always doing the work to heal, but not accepting that you are as healed as you need to be in this moment. So if you're always thinking of yourself as a project, then you never actually are celebrating the current moment that you're in, or like fully living it. So there is that like gentle strength in accepting who you are, not trying so hard to like push through the boundaries all the time. Accept this current moment that you are getting everything that you need in it. And don't try to like bulldoze anything down right now. There's feelings that you're having them for a reason. So now is definitely a time to sit with them. They're telling you something. They're communicating needs to you. They're communicating that there's an imbalance. There's an imbalance here. And that has to do with the 9 of Wands. You're burnt out. You're burnt out. This is having to do with your relationship to your local community, especially. That's why I remember I told you with the moon card, I felt that you were burnt out, and that's why you weren't doing the things that you want to do in the community, in the local community. And so this is the confirmation with the Justice in reverse and the 9 of Wands in reverse that you are just burnt out. So that's why it's time to approach it from a different perspective. It's time to give yourself a break and in like other areas, so that you have the ability to show up in your local community the way that you actually want to, because there's something you're meant to be doing in your local community that's pretty big if you're getting the moon card. And so then finally, clarification for the 10 of Cups. Let's see. Okay, yeah, clarification for the 10 of Cups. Ooh, yeah, we've got the Death card in reverse. Spirit is transforming you very, very quickly. And so that's why, you're thinking on a global level. You're thinking like, how do I show up in the world the way that I want to? And then that's trickling down to everything else in your life. Too many cards. All right, let's just give it a shuffle. All right, so on the bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Swords. Yep, it's time to rest. You need a rest. You have to trust that you have you've already cultivated as much as you could at this point. Now it's a time, like as I'm filming this, the moon, we just had a full moon, and now the moon is waning. And when the moon is waning, it's time to start releasing things. So it's not a surprise to me that that basically in this reading, you're getting that message of like, hey, stop trying to work so hard. slap a smile on that face and celebrate the fact that you have put in the work enough that you just have to trust that you have cultivated the emotional maturity, you have cultivated all the skills that you need to cultivate thus far, and you need to just like surrender to the divine and let it go. Okay? And now is the time for rest. Just rest. Know that the answers will come to you when it's time to come to you. Know that when it's time to heal the next thing, that'll naturally present itself to you and you will naturally work through it. Okay? Just one more card. That is the advice for today. And then we are done with this reading, which might be like one of the shortest readings I've done in all of February. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. But being gone for so long, Spirit really had a lot of things to say. And we've been in some heavy energy, so let's see some advice for moving forward through this energy today. How can they move through this energy today? Ooh, we have the World card, which I'm just going to cover it up so I can show it to you. It's a cowgirl riding the world, okay? That is just a confirmation that you basically have, like, the world is yours. Everything that you've been manifesting, it's yours. Now is a time to sit and reap the rewards, okay? Be in an energy of reception, of abundance, of gratitude, okay? Because all these things that you've been working towards, they're here. They're here. And even if you can't see them right now, trust me, you will be able to see them. So remember to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you are seeing a theme in here that resonates with you, please tell me about it in the comments. If there's a specific question you want me to ask or something you want me to pray about, then please leave that in the comments as well. And thank you for being here. Remember that we're moving through this energy together. There's only a couple more days left in February, so I'm going to try to get you as much messages as I can in between now and then. And then when March starts, I'm going to be moving to once a week readings. I'm going to be putting them out every Monday. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Thank you so much for being here. Pile number 2. We have the lapis lazuli, which is good for, I believe it's good for the throat chakra, but also for the third eye. So this that makes this stone actually very good for listening to the divine. As with a lot of those kinds of stones, it also helps with calming anxiety and with opening up the pathway, not only to speak, but also to see and to speak what you see, okay? So if you're here, I feel that you are actually very connected to the spiritual realm in your own way, and that you are being called to focus your attention to the spirit realm, to the divine, and maybe even call on a little bit of help. I'm gonna set these tarot cards aside. Let's get into the oracle cards right away. First, for the mermaid oracle card, it's the Myths and Mermaids oracle deck. We have Triumph of Galatia, with number 21, in reverse. So let's go ahead and read this. So the message here is, do not be paranoid. You have been under a lot of pressure to perform, and it is starting to get to you. You feel your every move is being scrutinized, and each mistake could cost you big. Try to ease up a little. Everyone knows you are only human, and despite how it seems, you are not being judged so harshly. Oof, you're the one judging yourself the harshest right now. And that is, asking you to have a little bit of, to calm your anxiety right now. And we've got in the Moonology deck, we've got a time for healing, Balsamic Moon. So this might be the integration of a lesson, that not to be so hard on yourself. And maybe like needing to sit and like sit with the progress you've already made. Let me just find this for you and read it. I think it's actually in the front. Here we go. To attune to the moon, the message here is when one is healed, all are healed. The additional meanings here would be it's time to let go of the past. You are about to turn the corner. You need more time to heal. And think about how this situation would look if everyone were healed. So if you're in some sort of like a conflict with somebody, that may be what we're talking about here. Calming your anxiety. And then for the spirit, the animal spirit oracle card, we have Bobcat Spirit in reverse. The tagline here is life is a mystery, and this is associated with the number 8, which is a very, very divine number. It's like the infinity symbol. And let's read that one for you. Bobcat Spirit is in protection mode. So the message here says, Bobcat Spirit tells you this is not a time to reveal your deepest, most cherished dreams and desires to others, but rather a time to be quiet and gentle with yourself as truths begin to emerge in your awareness. Self-protection is called for, so be discerning, selective, and even secretive, revealing no more than is necessary. People have a way of imposing their opinions on you, so pay attention to whom you surround yourself with at this time. Be watchful and check your own motives as well as those of others as you keep your secrets to yourself for now, rather than expose them to those who may potentially misunderstand your intentions or may not be supportive. Let your logical mind take a rest as you start to perceive the energy of your environment. Bobcat Spirit wants you to be stealthy and wise and keep your own counsel. Let yourself be a mystery yet to be revealed. That brings to mind this story of a road trip I took recently from Colorado to the East Coast. I went to go see my family, and before the trip, a lot of people in my family were very concerned for my safety, thinking that like my van was going to break down on the way or like something was going to happen and I was not going to be safe. And a couple of people had called me to be like, hey, I'm worried. And they have every right to worry. They're my family and they love me. And that can be a dangerous trip for someone to take by themselves in like an old van. But I just knew that this was like something that I wanted to do, that I had to do. And like it was just something that I knew for myself, and it ended up being a very transformative trip. But I had to say, set a boundary with myself, not to like take on their worry for me, and to follow my intuition to do it. And had I listened to them and not taken the trip, I would have missed out on something that was very transformative for me. And so sometimes when people are worried, they're very well meaning, but they're coming from a place of anxiety and fear, and they put that anxiety and fear onto you. So not to say like don't listen to people who care about you, but definitely have discernment with the way you, like who you choose to listen to and who you choose to share your plans with. I'm not a huge fan of secrecy because I feel that, that's something that causes shame, that it's born from shame, and it like makes us think that people are out to get us. But we have this, message to not be paranoid here, okay? So I feel like in context, what you're like what you're learning is that you are in a space of healing, and there are some people probably around you who aren't healed, and they are wanting the best for you. They have good intentions, but their worry or their anxiety comes from a place of being unhealed. And so them placing that on you also comes from a place of being unhealed. And so if you meet them with unhealed energy as well, you know, there's like stuff that can escalate from that. So the message so far that I'm seeing is like the reason why you're being asked not to be paranoid is so you're not reading into the actions of others. Like, for example, in the story I told you about my family worrying, if I was reading into their actions or like the things that they were saying, I'd be like, why are you putting this on me? Why are you telling me that, you know, I'm gonna fail? But that's not their intention. They're not intending to put that on me. It's just their worries, and they're communicating their worries and their fears. You know, so meeting them with compassion of I know you're worried, and you know that sucks. And I wish you wouldn't have to worry, but you know, I'm gonna do that thing, and you know, maybe like explain to them how you're going to be safe, or the safety measures you have in place, or maybe draw the boundary that, like, you know, this is not something I want to talk about. I'm going to do it, and I don't really want to talk about it. There's all kinds of ways that you can handle it, but you're definitely learning. I think you're like in a learning process of learning how to communicate with people who are still in their healing phase as well. So let's take a little bit of a look at the tarot cards that I have pulled for you. The first card that we have, these are all going to be about relationships. So the first one is your relationship to yourself, and you are the Queen of Cups. Beautiful. Very intuitive. You are more emotionally intelligent than you let on. You have a good mind for law. You like can think very. You have a balance between thinking very logically and very emotionally. Okay. You are someone who has an abundance of emotions, and so you are very in touch with that side of yourself. I also feel that you're someone who tends to speak more gently, although authoritatively. Gently but authoritatively. And then the next one we have is your relationship to love. Okay, so this reading I didn't ask for a specific lover. I'm asking for your relationship to love, to romantic love. So here we have the Knight of Swords in reverse, which is interesting. This came out for pile 1 as their relationship to self. But in relationship to romantic love, this Knight of Swords tells me that there's like some mental confusion, maybe like even feeling like you've been tricked or gaslit or something like that in love. There's like this very slippery feeling to it, and it's something that has hurt you. Like it's like something that was meant to be protective hurt you instead. So I feel like that's why you have this sense of like being paranoid, and it's like it may even be like that you've had relationships where those people, their way of communicating was very, very immature, and so it kind of like dragged you into that, and you ended up also communicating very immaturely with them, and so now there's this feeling of like mental confusion, which is why you're in that space of healing right now. You're trying to sort through that, I think. I definitely think that this is related to past relationship trauma a relationship that probably moved very, very quickly, and had a lot of arguments in it. But I also feel that that's why you're in that like essence of like more emotional maturity, and you speak more gently now, because you may have participated in that very toxic like argument type of culture in your relationship, but now you've been trying to evolve, and you've been doing a lot of work on yourself. I can see that. Then we have your relationship to your immediate community, which is the Two of Wands in reverse. This is so interesting. The last pile also got Two of Wands in reverse, with regards to their relationship to their local community, which or immediate community, which is your family, friends, chosen family, things like that. This to me is about like being distracted, not seeing all the options that are laid out before you, which happens when we have been like really traumatized in relationships. It's hard to trust again. So I feel that like, I feel that you are not sure how to move with like friends and family in your immediate community, because you're just not sure. You're not sure of yourself yet. We'll get a little bit of clarification on that in just a moment. Oh, this is beautiful. For your relationship to the community, we have the Three of Wands. Okay, so your relationship to your local community, like your neighborhood basically, is actually better right now than your relationship to your immediate community. There's like this energy of like observation and seeing what your options are. You have multiple options, and you've been actually building something kind of like stable for yourself. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing for that. We'll also get clarification on that in just a moment. And then for your relationship to the world at large, we have the Five of Swords in reverse. So there's like this need to actually take responsibility, personal responsibility, for, I think it's really like for cultivating a skill. This would also be about loss, about needing to like lose something and like to me, this actually speaks of surrender to the divine, which I can see in this Bobcat Spirit card, Life is a Mystery, like embracing the mystery. And also in this Balsamic Moon card, that's a time for healing, okay? Because that means you just have to embrace the energy that you're being thrust into right now, this healing energy, where you are accepting yourself radically for who you are, honestly. So let me get just a little bit of clarification on these cards. A little bit of confirmation and clarification. All right, please give us some clarification on the Queen of Cups. Why is this Queen of Cups here? What does this mean about Pile 2's relationship to their self? Ooh, I'm hearing like self-love. Here we've got Four of Wands in reverse, which any way you put it, it's like about a happy, healthy home life. So yeah, a lot of self-love for you right now. If you live alone, you may be spending time in solitude, but that's okay. It's like, I do feel like there is like a moment where maybe you're in like a lower energy, not lower vibration, but lower energy. And so you are spending more time by yourself or more time at home alone or something like that. But that this is like a good thing. It's like you're getting everything you need from it. There's a lot of self-love and self-care and this like feeling that's like preparing you to cultivate more. And then let's see just a little more about that. Okay, Ten of Wands. you are carrying a heavy burden right now, which is why you're needing to be in this more like solitary energy. That is what healing is about. So I feel like you definitely have a lot going on, and that it is related to that like love life, that I think like there's those past love wounds that are heavy burdens for you. You are sorting through them, but you're still carrying a lot. But your intuition is so strong, and you need to be following your intuition right now. We've got the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. So that's what you're not seeing, is that your intuition is way stronger than you even realize. And so I feel like this is a reminder to you that you can radically accept the mode of healing that you're in right now. You can accept the place that you're in right now. You can accept your flaws as a perfect part of you, because you can trust your intuition to bring you the messages that you're going to need to teach you the lessons that you need in order to get through things. So you can let go of control a little bit. You don't have to constantly be thinking through how to do this the best way or whatever, because you actually you get what you need exactly when you need it. You are such an intuitive person. So you need to trust that, okay? I was just having a conversation with a friend today who was not seeing that they're perfect exactly how they are. They were like doing like a lot of self-work, and they like to the point that it was like almost hurting them, or like they weren't able to see how perfect they are right now. And they said to me that the reason that they did that is because they are afraid of stagnancy. And so a lot of us are afraid of that, like that when you are coming out of like a moment like of downness, like you were so down for so long that you became very stagnant and stuck. And that is like your worst nightmare, to go back to that, because that's like being in hell. So that's why that's like the thing that you fight so hard not to go back to, because you don't want to end up back in hell. And so I feel that there's this fear that if you stop over analyzing, that you will miss the lesson, that you will not learn it. But what I was telling my friend was that if you know the lesson intellectually, but your body doesn't know it and can't perform the knowing of the lesson instinctually without you having to think through everything, then you have not learned the lesson. And by trying to intellectualize it too much and skip the part where your body has learned the lesson, like you've gone through it so many times that now your body is like, got this, I don't even have to think about it, it's an instinct. If you try to skip that, then you're not really learning the lesson, and you're prolonging the integration of the lesson. So all that to say, trust your intuition, that if you stop over analyzing everything and intellectualizing and being like overly logical about it, that your intuition will naturally assimilate the lesson into your body, and you'll almost like realize it in retrospect. Like, oh wait, I don't do that thing I used to do anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. Like that kind of thing. All right, so clarification on the Knight of Swords. We've got the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups. And this one actually came out, like, I can't even tell which way it fell. So there's this energy of like, that there is that like celebratory energy in the air. Like I think that spirit is celebrating almost more than you are, about how far you've come from this like past relationship hurt type of thing. But there is definitely a connection between your relationship to romantic love and your relationship to your immediate community, the friends and family. that has to do with the Three of Cups. Okay, so I really feel that this is like the more that you are connecting with your immediate community and like building and cultivating love, unconditional love there and support, the more you're healing your romantic relationship, and vice versa. If you're having a romantic relationship that's healing a lot, that is likely also providing healing in the area of your friends and family. So let me see what's on the bottom of the deck here. Yeah, we've got the Wheel of the Year, which would also be the Wheel of Fortune, which to me tells me that you do feel like you're kind of like on a like the downward spiral, but this is also like a reminder that everything that goes down must come up and everything that goes up must come down. So you may be feeling like you're kind of like on the bottom of the totem pole, the bottom of the wheel, but that wheel is turning. And Spirit is letting you know that it's actually in motion and it is turning back to like a place where you are going to be feeling better. So that's why we have this like balsamic moon, time for healing, coming up, because it's like letting you know that like the current energy that you are in is an energy of healing, and that healing is bringing healing to your romantic and platonic / familial relationships, and that because of all that healing that you're currently doing, you are on the upswing. So let's get a little bit more clarification about the Two of Wands. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay, this talks to me about burnout. You're burnt out. Like you may be actually having an imbalance between the amount of time that you're giving to like family and friends versus the amount of time that you're spending in your community, like your local like neighborhood, basically. The Emperor. Just talking about needing to actually focus on your responsibilities. So you actually might have to set some boundaries with your friendships and or vice versa. You might have to set some boundaries with work so that you can show up in your friendships more. But for a lot of you, I do feel like your friendships they're somewhat of a distraction, and not that we really think of our friends as distractions, but I do feel that it's like maybe it's like the equivalent of like picking up the phone every time they call, even though you're supposed to be doing something else, or like picking up the phone and you should say like, hey, is everything okay, or what's up? I'm busy right now, or I'm doing this thing, and you got to let them know you only have like 5 minutes to talk or something, but you're not doing that, and then you're talking for 5 hours instead, like something like that. So make sure that you're taking care of your responsibilities, especially when it comes to finances, taking care of your home, like more of those material responsibilities. Because I feel like those are things that you're neglecting. And then let's get some clarification on this Three of Wands. Interesting. We've got the Two of Wands in reverse as the clarification for the Three of Wands. And also, like how the Three of Wands relates to the Five of Swords, which is, basically like your relationship to your local community and the relationship to the world. So I feel that there is, again, something that is a distraction. Like you're focusing your energy on one thing when you should be focusing on another. So this to me is actually confirmation that some of you are actually, you should be showing up for your friends more, but you're prioritizing the relationship to your local community a little bit more. So that's really interesting. Then I feel then that if that's the case, then the Emperor, talking about you needing to take care of your material responsibilities, has to do actually with just like also taking care of yourself and making sure that you're stable within yourself. Because if you're secure, then when other people are coming to you with problems or whatever, like you can be there for them instead of like jumping in the hole with them. You have like a lifeline that you can pull them out of the hole with. So I feel like that's what your responsibility is. And then at the bottom of the deck, as the thing that you're not seeing, especially in regards to your local community, is the shadow side, which is also the devil in reverse, meaning that there's something that you need to free yourself and only you can free yourself from. There's something you need to free yourself and only you can free yourself from. What is it they need to free themselves from? In their relationship with the local community. This unrealistic thinking with the 7 of Cups. Ooh, 6 of Wands is a victory. If you like, so I feel like this is like some idealized thinking, to be completely honest, in a good way. Like you have some really big ideas that you want to pursue in the community, and these are actually going to be very fruitful for you. And you have a question, I think, about whether that's the right thing to do or the right direction to go in or not, because it's so idealized. But this is a confirmation, I think, that to like free yourself from that, it's like a mindset of doubt in your own self, and in your dreams. So dream big and follow that big dream. The last pile that I talked to, like there was something about in pile 1, there was something about the 6 of Cups, which comes before the 7 of Cups, which is about like, which for them was about doing the thing that they loved when they were a kid. So if you're following in this reading, this is like that, confirmation that thing you wanted to do when you were a kid. That's the thing. It seems like such an idealized thing, but Spirit is giving us the 6 of Wands. That is like victory. That is triumph. That is like, people talking about you being more of like a public figure. So, like for some of you, this might be like going for, being more of like a local celebrity in some way. Don't doubt it. Go for it. This is your confirmation. And then clarity for the 5 of Swords in reverse. Clarity for 5 of Swords in reverse. 6 of Swords. Awesome. There's definitely travel coming for you in your future. There's overcoming this energy of like scatteredness. There's enterprise here as well. I definitely feel that a lot of you are either moving or you are thinking about accepting some sort of career that or building a career that would have you moving around and maybe even being nomadic in some way. And I feel like that's something that you're moving towards very rapidly. And the thing you don't see here is the 9 of Cups in reverse. There's a lot of self-doubt surrounding that. Why is there so much self-doubt here? We've got the Hanged Man in reverse and the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. This is confusion. Mental confusion. All right, so then let me just go ahead and grab some, like a card about moving forward, moving through this energy. A lot of this is really about overcoming self-doubt, about giving yourself time to like surrendering to the divine, and really giving the divine time to alchemize that healing in your body, like, almost like co-creating that healing together with the divine by like letting go and trusting that the answers and that healing is washing over you as we speak right now. What is the advice moving forward for pile 2? How are they moving through this energy? What's the advice to help them move through the energy? We've got the Heir of One, which is basically the Ace of Swords. And that really talks about having to surrender. It's radical surrender to the divine. So we've been talking about that. There's an air of that. And so that's what I would focus on today as you're reading this. Remember that we're moving through some energies. So like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please subscribe. Make sure you leave your energy imprint on my channel so that I can continue to pick up how you are personally are moving through this energy. And we can, you know, once you've done the mental and physical work of surrendering, we'll see a little bit more movement also through this. I've been putting out videos very frequently over these past, few days, the last few days of February. And then as soon as March starts, I'm going to be moving to once a week readings. So make sure that you tune in every Monday to see those new readings. And as always, thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Thank you for joining me. If you're here, I'm seeing the number 111 on the timestamp. So this is a really, really powerful final message for the reading. Thank you for joining me for this. Let's just dive right in. We've got the Herkimer Diamond, which is all about creativity, especially under pressure, forming things under pressure. So like maybe would be helpful for meeting deadlines, like creating good things under under that pressure. And then this one also has like this rock formation attached to it still, and so that to me that's a very grounding energy as well. We might get into this a little bit more as the reading goes on, but I just want to really get through this. So let's dive in. First of all, for the Myths and Mermaids Oracle card. Oh, I told you this was such a divine reading. Okay, we've got Stardust Angel, which is the number 22. This is pretty much like getting the Star card if you know anything about tarot. It's really about being yourself. But let me go ahead and read that message from the Myths and Mermaid Oracle deck. All right, so this is, the message here is look for guidance within. Lately, it seems everyone has something to say, some word of caution or piece of advice. Sorting through so many opinions can be a daunting task, and one that is not really necessary. You have great intuition and a solid set of principles, so you need only look inward to make a decision that is right for you. Your intuition is very, very on point right now, and trust it. In the Moonology Oracle deck, we have the North Node, which is step out of your comfort zone. I feel that you definitely feel that you have been divinely guided. You are being divinely guided towards something, but it's way outside of your comfort zone. And so actually I meant to say this at the beginning of the video, thinking that it was for all of the the piles, but before I guess it's only for this one, for this pile. So if you are watching from the other piles, then I'm so glad that you made it this far. But the message that I was getting, I was channeling a message from Saint Michael, the Archangel, about how, we choose the devil that we know because it's familiar, because we don't know where else to go. But so many of us are living in a hell frequency And we're being given the divine guidance and the intuitive intervention to remove ourselves from that hell frequency, and step into something different. But it's so difficult for the human mind to fathom choosing something different, even if we know that we are currently miserable in the vibration that we're in. So that was the message, which now that I'm seeing this North Node step out of your comfort zone, it's reminding me a lot of that. And let me just read that North Node real quick. Sorry, there's people being loud outside if you hear them. We love to hear people having fun, though. That's great. To attune to the moon, the message is, I know I'm headed in the right direction. Additional meanings for this card would also be, you're headed for something which feels like destiny. You need to face a fear and get over it. Time to stop obsessing about someone or something. Stand on your own 2 feet, and you've got this. Okay? Yeah, you need to face a fear and get over it. For some of you, the time to stop obsessing about someone or something, and the stand on your own 2 feet, this may be actually about leaving a relationship behind that is no longer serving you. This could be actually about someone who's already an ex of yours. But listen to your intuition on it. Maybe that's why you're feeling like you're under pressure. Some of you may be like having to make a decision about relationships at this point. But let's continue. Let's put the whole picture together. For the Animal Spirit Oracle card, we have the Eagle Spirit in reverse. The tagline here is, Spirit has your back. So that's in this direction, and the number here is 23, which adds up. 2 and 3 add up to 5, and 2 is a relationship number, 3 is about growth, and 5 is spirit. So it's like spirit is heavily like involved in your life right now. I mean, always is, but now you're extremely aware of it. Okay, so Eagle Spirit in protection mode says, if you are walking awkwardly and feeling embarrassed, Eagle Spirit is here to tell you that it is only because, right now you are meant to fly. Soar over the troubles that have you feeling scared and alone. See the big picture, yet retain your eagle eye for the details that help you claim your wisdom and courage. Or perhaps you are making yourself small for the sake of getting others to accept you. Now is not the time to be vulnerable and dependent, for you have the wings to fly on your own, and you need to do that at this time. There is no need to huddle in a shelter or even to seek out a flock to support you, for Eagle Spirit says you have tremendous wisdom and courage within. Let it arise so that you might soar proudly with the angels serving as the wind beneath your wings. From these heights, you can make the best and most powerful choices for the highest good of all. Okay, so now it makes sense why I was getting that channeled message from the Archangel Michael, because this is really about, calling on your angels, calling on your spirit guides, and asking them to help you get through a situation that's very uncomfortable. And I do feel like a lot of you that are watching this, you're here because you've been questioning a relationship that you're currently in, or healing from one that you left, or there's one that it's like a situationship or something, maybe even pain from separation that you didn't initiate. There's that kind of energy going on with here, and so going on in this reading. And so I think that's why there's so much of that, doing things under pressure, creating something under pressure, in the energy of this stone for you right now. You are under a lot of pressure right now, I sense. So the cards that I chose for you are all regarding relationships, but they're I'm not going to be doing any like specific answers to like, is this someone you're going to be in a relationship or not, or like, addressing a specific relationship, like romantic relationship. But you'll see how it goes. So for the first card, we have your relationship to self. That is the Ten of Swords. There's something that's over. It's done, but you're still sitting in that energy. You're still sitting in that energy. This is something that finished, though, for your highest good. Then for your relationship to romantic love, we have the King of Cups. You are very grounded in your emotional energy. You're very emotionally stable. I can see you're a very intelligent person, and so you have a lot of emotional intelligence now when it comes to romantic love, and you are in a place where you're actually ready to you're ready for romance. So you may be in a relationship that's actually it's going well, but there's like someone else that you have to forget about or something like that. But either way, you have the emotional maturity and the intelligence to like for romance right now. In your relationship to your immediate community, which is family and friends, we have the King of Wands. Okay, so you're like I see that you're someone who has a lot of influence in your circle, whether it is, blood family, chosen family, just like platonic friendships. You do have a lot of influence. Your word carries a lot of weight because you get a lot of things done. People know that they can come to you when they have a project, and like, they might have all these ideas, and you know how to listen to their ideas and give them a good direction so that they can channel their creativity into like something that is really meaningful and powerful for them. I feel like you are definitely the master of that domain when it comes to like your family and friendship relationships. For your relationship to your local community, which is like your neighborhood, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel that you're working on something, like some sort of project that you are dreaming. You're in the dreaming phases and the nesting phases and the phase where you planted the seed and you are seeing the buds start to form, and it's inevitable that those buds will become flowers. That's really beautiful energy for you. I love that. That's like you've cultivated something and you're just sitting back and watching, and you're going to reap the rewards, and you know that it's a sure thing because you can already see the beginning of it, right? Then for your relationship to the world, we have the Three of Swords. This is a very heavy, broken-hearted energy. An energy that is helping you transform things, so you have to kind of sit in that, like, it's like an energy of grief, of grieving. But this is very, this makes so much sense to me because if you're here and this is like a very divine reading, and I feel that you're very heavily guided by the angels, and especially I feel that you have like a special relationship with the Archangel Michael, and his whole deal is basically, doing things for the greater good, working things out for the greater good. And so you may be someone who is a light worker, or just someone who like you have gifts to share, for the greater good. And so that's why St. Michael would be working with you. And that's why you might be feeling burdened, because the state of the world is not in a good place right now. There's a lot going on. We've got the genocide going on in Gaza, also in the Congo, I think in Sudan as well. There's all kinds of like terrible things happening. To be honest, I try to keep up with it, and it's hard to keep up with a lot of it. But right now at the forefront of my mind is definitely Gaza, and you know, like there's just all kinds of things that are like in the news. Oh, we've also got the you know, recent murder of Next Benedict, which just brings to the forefront the issues that we're still dealing with racism and you know, cultural genocide and transphobia and homophobia, queerphobia in general. There is just so much going on in the state of the world today that if you are somebody who is, you know, working with St. Michael for the highest good, or that's just like the kind of person you are, you're like a light worker, then it makes sense to me why you are in this heavy energy. So let's just get some clarification, and you know, this will help us to move through all these energies, because you've got some really beautiful things that are, it's very easy to see how beautiful they are when it comes to your relationship to romantic love, your relationship to your immediate community, your relationship to your local community, right? But then you've got this like 10 of Swords energy, which although it's not very painful, it's still sad. It's still like a heavy energy of some sort, like something, you know, has passed already, and that's a sad thing. And then we've got the 3 of Swords here, you know, which is like really like heavy grief. So let's see what we're working with here. Please give us some clarification for the 10 of Swords. We've got the Tower in reverse. Okay, so this has to do with your health. Some of you have not taken out the time that you needed to focus on your health, and so this is a reminder of that. Some of you have been working on your health, and even if you're taking small steps, it's like your health is something that you have always struggled with, and so if that's the case, if your health is something that you have always struggled with, or you've been struggling with for a long time, like I'm talking like a chronic illness or something, or chronic, even an injury, you know, that was like long lasting or something like that. This can also have to do with mental health, like anxiety and things like that. So if those are things that you've been struggling with, and you have been also working on them and taking steps towards, you know, helping your body and helping your health, then just know that actually you have almost like graduated to this next level where you don't have to worry that you're going to go back to that again. And you know, some of you watching may be permanently disabled or permanently, like, you know, have a chronic illness or something like that. And if that's the case, then, you know, what I'm saying is not like, oh, you're healed, you're never gonna, you know, like you can walk again, like that kind of thing. No, but what I am saying, like, for example, I've had to had in the past, you know, I had such bad health that it resulted in me having to get my gallbladder removed. And so there are excuse me, things that I'm gonna always have to deal with. Like, for example, you know, when you have your gallbladder removed, your liver suffers. And so, like, I'm always gonna have to deal with that. And, you know, on some level, like that, just, you don't just like get those things back. So what I'm trying to say is, like, it's like, I feel that your health and this like hell loop or hell vibration that you've been in, that's been like directly related, and that your relationship to your body, to your health is changing. So this could also be like some sort of acceptance that you might not have the life that you thought you were going to have, or acceptance that you might never have the life that you used to have. But with this acceptance definitely comes expansion. Because I wanted to say healing, but that's just such a weird and loaded word that I don't think is even accurate for this. I think it's expansion. That's why we have this whole thing about like stepping out of your comfort zone and, you know, like leaning on the divine right now, really, because you are growing very exponentially. And remember that we have the archetype of the wounded healer floating around, which is, you know, I feel like that's the vibe that I'm getting from you. Like you're someone who has had to overcome a lot. So you may be someone who is like, has a more marginalized identity. Like I said, disabled or chronically ill. You could be neurodivergent. You could be queer. You could be obese. You could, you know, like you could struggle with like mental health. You know, like, but just like radically accepting yourself and accepting that you are still a healer in that like unhealed or that like what society would consider as broken state, but we're not broken. We're people who have had to overcome a lot. And yeah, let's see if there's any more clarification on that. Yeah, that's so interesting because I was just thinking that I think that this, you know, being in poor health really has a lot to do with like past love. And then we got the Lovers card and the Shadow side in reverse, which the shadow side in reverse is the devil, like needing to free yourself from something. The Lovers is also like very like a mirroring energy, but I think it's really interesting that it just popped out there when I was, you know, like asking for clarification about like this, how this relationship like relates to the your relationship to romantic love. And I do think that a lot of this has to do with stress. There are some conditions that are actually most conditions actually are exacerbated by stress. And so I feel that you have had some trauma from like the past, especially in relationships, that has affected your health. And so that's why, you know, you're being guided to move away from that trauma, from things that cause that trauma. You know, that message of like, stop obsessing over someone. It's like you may be going, like always asking yourself, am I going to get back together with my ex? Am I going to get back together with my ex? And it's like, no, you're not supposed to get back together with your ex. Or like, am I ever going to get together with that person who rejected me? You know, like they led me on and then they rejected me out of nowhere. No, you're not. You're supposed to be moving on from that because that actually, you know, that has caused you some health problems in the past. And then on the bottom, we have the King of Cups. Oh my God. This is like for what you don't see. The King of Cups. And we have the King of Cups also describing what your relationship is to your romantic life. So, yeah, this is really about overcoming, having that emotional maturity to put yourself first and to take care of your body and not to be in toxic relationships. Then another clarification for the romantic relationship here. Ooh, we've got the Ace of Wands. You're definitely starting something new. It is yet to be seen, since, you know, we don't know if it's right side up or upside down. It's yet to be seen if this is something that's going to actually be fruitful or not. But this is definitely in regards to like how your romantic relationships, your relationship to romantic love, and your relationship to your immediate community, like friends and family, how they interact with each other. I definitely think that you are uncertain if somebody that you're interested in now, or like the kind of relationship that you want now, whether that would vibe with your immediate community. So you may be thinking of having like some sort of unconventional type of relationship, like maybe you're wanting to explore polyamory for the first time and like all of your friends are monogamous, or it could be like someone, oh, I see 3 of Pentacles here on the bottom about what you don't see. especially in regards to your romantic relationship. Three of Pentacles is, it's the start of some, like the start of an enterprise that is growing, business, trade. So I feel that you have heard this before, that the person that you are meant to be in a relationship with will actually help your business, or that you will be business partners in some way. This is someone that, is going to be the Queen of Cups to your King of Cups, basically. Like you're the one who gets things done, but they have like the good big ideas, and but you both have good ideas, but you're just like, I feel like there's like this power couple dynamic that is coming into play in your life, and that you're not sure how it fits in with your friends and family, and how that's going to affect that dynamic. We do have the Queen of Pentacles, though, to further clarify that. This is about abundance and opulence. So and also like, just like material wealth, and also like taking care of yourself, like self-care. And then on the bottom we have the Death card in reverse. So you're going through this big transformation that Spirit is taking you on right now, and it has to do with, well, first of all, you're ready for this romantic relationship, to like this business type of like romantic relationship, or like this power couple, like you're building your empire together. You're ready for that. Although I don't feel that you're seeing it in your reality right now, or things still feel up in the air. But there is this air of like this feeling of like needing to just like go, like surrender to the divine, like don't listen to the friends as much, the friends and family, about what they think you should be doing, especially in romantic love, because you know what you're supposed to be doing, and you are creating something that is pretty big, and that actually branches out, not only it's not only like in your romantic relationships, but it does branch out into your local community as well. So I do feel, like I said, that you and your this like potential like romantic relationship, or the current one, or whatever it is, like with your relationship to romantic love, that is actually, I feel that that's going in the direction of like building a business of some sort. And so I believe that that's like something that is going to benefit your community as well as yourself. Please give us some more clarification on the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, we've got the Queen of Cups in reverse. What did I tell you? There's someone who's like the Queen of Cups to your King of Cups. And this is someone who is going to they're not going to want to stop at like the local community level. They're going to want to take this thing that you guys are working on to the broader level of the world. And then I see the Knight of Pentacles here in reverse. This is something that is moving very slowly. This is not going to be in your reality very soon. So you're still working on, the self-actualization part to move into like this like romantic love, like the cultivation of romantic love. But I do see that what you're working on is something that's like, you're providing services to others in some way. Yeah, again, I think it's going to come in very slowly. I don't think that that's the next step, although you can see how that is coming and where that's coming. But the thing that has to happen before that is like this transformation in the romantic love that like becomes, like two people building their empire together. So you're definitely going to have a common goal. Please clarify the Three of Swords. This person that the Queen of Cups to your King of Cups is also very heavy in that like Three of Swords energy. They're feeling very burdened. That's why they're definitely not going to want to leave this at the local level. They're going to want to like expand it, and it will take longer, I think, than they would like to. But you know, we had a Queen of Cups come out. I think it was like the first in pile 1. So that's a really, I don't know, an interesting connection. Clarify the Three of Swords. Oh, here we go. The Knight of Wands. Okay, so things are not going to move very quickly at first, but once they do, man, the speed is gonna pick up quickly. Like you once you like sort things out on like on more of the romantic and like familial / platonic level, then you will start to see a lot of rapid growth in your more like global empire and the things that you're doing to help the global situation. Then we've got on the bottom of the deck, what you don't see is strength in reverse. I feel like the tendency for you here and for you and your partner is going to be to like want to tackle the world stuff like head on, like very aggressively. But that there needs to be like this like patience and like, you know, taking a gentle approach. All right, so that's what we've got as far as all your relationships go. And then last thing I'm gonna do is grab card about advice for moving forward, moving through this energy. Spirit, what's the advice for moving forward and moving through this energy? We've got the King of Fire, which is the King of Wands. So that to me tells me that so the we also got the King of Wands for your the immediate community, your friends and family. Okay, so I do feel that this is actually something you need to be working on, maybe like a little bit out of order. I had said, you know, that the romantic love is, you know, something that needs to come into balance, or like come into, you need to like free yourself from like some of that past trauma. But I feel that this King of Wands is the confirmation that we need, that like the thing that's gonna help you do that is by first going through this transformative experience with your friends and your family. And I feel that you're doing that with them will actually help you get more plugged into your local community. And when you're putting yourself out there, then I feel that this love situation, the romantic love relationship will actually kind of like naturally work itself out. Yeah, we've got the 10 of Wands right now on the bottom of this deck, and the Chariot. So there's like some burdens that you're learning to carry and cope with. And there's a situation right now that's moving very, very quickly. So leaning into your friends and your family relationships is going to be very helpful for you in stepping out of your comfort zone. And just remember to surrender to the divine. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. Thank you for being here. I know that we're still like, things are still up in the air and we're still like moving through this energy, but remember that that we're going to just keep moving through this for the rest of February. There's only a few more days left, so I'm going to try to give you as many messages as I can before February lets up. But then as soon as March starts, I'm going to be starting on once a week readings. So make sure that you tune back here every Monday to continue working through some of this energy, but just like less intensive than these like past few days have been with me doing the February love and relationship series. Please remember that if you would like me to pick up on your energy more, you need to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I would love it if you would leave me a comment about anything that resonated with you here. Also, let me know if there's anything you would like to ask, any topic you want me to cover, or like anything that you need me to pray about. I would love to be of assistance in some way if I can. And as always, thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.